What would the Merc with the Mouth's cinematic starring vehicle be without a few hidden gems? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Deadpool Easter eggs and references.
You might want to look away for this. Now this little piggy went to.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. Number 10, Superhero Landing.
Superhero landing. She gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it. Woo! Superhero landing.
One of the things that makes the Deadpool movie so awesome is our protagonist's ability to point out and satirize tropes that have become common across the genre over the years. One such moment is when he points out the quote-unquote superhero landing that seems to be all the rage these days. Not that he seems to mind them, he even applauds when Angel makes her own dynamic entrance right before their final confrontation. Careful though, apparently it's not all that healthy for your legs.
Yeah, that's really hard on your knees. Totally impractical, they all do it.
Impractical as it may be, it still looks awesome. Number 9, Canadian references.
That does it! Oh! Canada!
Since Wade Wilson and Ryan Reynolds are both proud Canadians, it only makes sense that they would toss in the occasional reference and joke about their homeland. As Deadpool sets himself up to kick the ever-loving crap out of Ajax, he adds his own little golf commentary and mentions Regina, Saskatchewan, a city in West Central Canada.
A hush falls over the crowd as rookie sensation Wade W. Wilson out of Regina, Saskatchewan lines up the shot.
There's also the less subtle throwaway gag when Deadpool punches Colossus across the face, getting his hand smashed in the process, and lets loose the first line of the Canadian national anthem in response. Remember kids, Regina rhymes with fun.
Oh, and that's why Regina rhymes with fun. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're witnessing is sweet dick-kicking revenge. Oh, give him the business. Incoming.
Number 8, Bob, agent of Hydra. Remember that one goon who works for Ajax that Deadpool inexplicably left alive and treated like an old friend?
Bob?
Wait?
Oh my God, I haven't seen you since
Jacksonville.
TGI Friday.
Well, it turns out that in the comic books, Bob works for the criminal organization Hydra. That's right, they technically managed to sneak in a reference to a Hydra character, despite the fact that Fox isn't allowed to mention Hydra in their movies, as it belongs to Disney and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While he's not specifically mentioned as a member of Hydra, it's relatively clear which character the movie is addressing, since Bob and Deadpool have shared many misadventures together in the comics. While it's very unlikely that we will ever see Deadpool cross over with the Avengers, it's nice to know that the filmmakers seem just as eager as we are.
How are the kids? Good? And Gail, she's still fixing that tuna casserole? So good. Oh, but bad for the waistline if you know what I'm talking.
Number 7, Stewart or McAvoy?
Let us go talk to the professor.
McAvoy or Stewart? These timelines are so confusing.
It's no secret that the timelines in the X-Men franchise are more than a little muddled at this point. You have everything that happened before Days of Future Past, everything that happened after, and, well, the less that's said about X-Men Origins Wolverine, the better.
It will be all right, Scott. My name is Charles Xavier. I'm a mutant, like you.
As you might expect, it's a prime topic for Deadpool to pick apart, as he sums it up in a simple, scathing question. After being thoroughly defeated by Colossus, an injured Deadpool's remark about Professor X skewers the whole thing sharply and cleanly. And hey, it's also a perfectly legitimate question, right? Number 6, Helicarrier.
Let's just say, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
This one is a much more overt nod to the Marvel Cinematic Universe that even casual fans should be able to spot. As Deadpool, Colossus, and Negasonic teenage warheads zero in on Ajax, it turns out that he's made his base of operations out of a destroyed helicarrier. It's never actually called a helicarrier because, again, Fox and Disney, but it was a great nod that hints at a bigger world outside Deadpool. Could there be a surprise crossover with Cap or Nick Fury, or at least Maria Hill? Nah, probably not so long as the impenetrable legal barrier keeps Fox's Marvel characters separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Number 5, Hugh Jackman.
Oh, hello. I know, right? Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with Pulverine. And let me tell you, he's got a nice pair of smooth criminals down under.
Wolverine and Deadpool's rivalry in the comics is as hilarious as it is legendary, and any interaction between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman is already a barrel of laughs. In something of a twisted display of affection, both Hugh Jackman and his most famous role are frequently mentioned and mocked throughout the film, from little jabs at the actor being from down under to having a paper cutout of his face stapled to Wade Wilson's ugly mug. He's all over the place.
And this one. In case the other fell off.
We can only imagine the fun they had coming up with this stuff, as well as Mr. Jackman's response when he finally watched it for the first time.
Go f yourself.
Number 4, Green Lantern.
Have you concluded admiring yourself?
Yeah.
While it wasn't the worst superhero movie ever made, it's well known that the Green Lantern movie was a big disappointment for fans. Luckily for us, Ryan Reynolds isn't afraid to address this. Over the course of the Deadpool film, he takes every opportunity to poke fun at that role. Even in the first scene, we can see a Green Lantern baseball card spilling out of his wallet. But the line that everyone remembers most is when Wade Wilson starts to undergo his horrific treatment by Ajax, where he makes certain specific fashion demands.
And please don't make the super suit green. Or animated.
Number 3, the other Deadpool. For as much flack as Green Lantern gets, it is nothing compared to the disaster that was X-Men Origins Wolverine and its treatment of Deadpool. What went wrong? Well, above all, they sewed up the merc with a mouth's mouth so he couldn't talk.
Wait, is that you?
There was so much fan outrage over this that it would have been a crime if they hadn't at least partially addressed it. Lucky for us, they did just that. First in a teaser trailer for the film that was basically a huge middle finger to Fox.
From the studio that inexplicably sewed his f***ing mouth shut the first time, comes 5-time Academy Award viewer Ryan Reynolds.
Then in the movie itself, by actually having Barakapool as one of Wade Wilson's action figures.
I think we can all agree that shit just went sideways in the most colossal way. Well, maybe not the most.
Number 2, post-credit scene.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
Post-credit scenes have become an expected trope in superhero movies, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe has become expert at milking this to great effect. Naturally, that meant that the Deadpool sequences had to come at it from a much wackier side. Putting his own little spin on things, viewers were treated to a rather strange homage to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, complete with bathrobe.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
He also hilariously provides contradictory info about the sequel, and let's just say that his ideas about casting are appropriately non-traditional. Regardless of who's cast, a sequel can't get here soon enough.
The sequel? We're gonna have Cable. Amazing character. Bionic arm, time travel. We have no idea who we're gonna cast yet, but it could be anybody. Just need a big guy with a flat top. Could be Mel Gibson, Dolph Lundgren, Keira Knightley. She's got range, who knows?
Before we reveal our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Give it up for chastity!
Number 1, breaking the fourth wall.
Hear the music.
I'm a wolf in sheep's clothing. Only nigga that you know who can chill. Come back and get the streets open.
We knew they were coming, yet they still blew us away. Deadpool's hilarious habit of speaking to the audience has been a part of his character for as long as he's been on the page.
You're probably thinking, my boyfriend said this was a superhero movie, but that guy in the red suit just turned that other guy into a kebab. Well, I may be super, but I am no hero.
Admittedly, we were a little skeptical of how they were going to translate this to the big screen, but we'll be damned if they didn't nail it. Backstory, exposition, witty remarks, insults. He goes so far as to break the fourth wall within the fourth wall.
Fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls.
We're not sure what's more awesome, the fact that him addressing the audience was so funny, or that it didn't feel too forced. Here's hoping we get 64 walls broken in the sequel.
It's a big house. It's funny that I only ever see 2 of you. It's almost like the studio couldn't afford another X-Men.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.